Hello and welcome to Official Nintendo Magazine podcast. Number how many we're up to now?
8. This is the
number
8th.
8.
Is it?
All right.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about issue 55. But before we do
It's like
that,
an episode of Sesame Street. This.
it is, yeah. It's brought to you by the letter
N.
X. One of those. Should we? We keep forgetting to do introductions.
Yeah.
My name's Neil Long. I'm the editor.
My name's Fred Dutton, and I'm the deputy editor.
I
Hello.
am Simon Bramble. I'm the news editor. Hello.
I'm Chris Scullion. I am games editor. Hi.
Good. All right. We've forgotten to do that for the last few podcasts.
Yeah.
So thought we'd better do that. This month we're going to be talking about, amongst many other things, 3DS, Mario Galaxy 2. We'll be reading your emo poetry over our best sort of maudlin, depressing music.
Yeah.
And
Fun times ahead.
yeah, look forward to that, kids. And in the main, we'll be talking about what's in Official Nintendo Magazine number 55 on sale now.
I've got a feeling that might be quite pricey. That issue.
Well, you're
No,
wrong.
it's-
Actually, it's
what?
very reasonable.
Oh, that's okay then.
It's about the same as I was trying to think of something that's 4
It's about
quid.
the same as 399 penny cola
penny-
bottles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Oh.
It's about
just under 4 quid.
8 Mars bars.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know how much.
Where'd
is
you
a
buy your
Mars
Mars bars
bar? I
from?
don't know, the machine
The
in
Queen.
the hall.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. They are overpriced.
yeah. So
I'll give you that.
just to be clear, it's $3.99. It's out now. It's got an amazing sleeve on it with what we call in the industry a die cut hole in it with a Monster Hunter monster coming through. What is that monster called, Simon? Is it called Legacious?
Legiacrus.
Legiacrus.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So you'll be able to see that by its
think
mighty teeth and mouth coming out at you from the
But
newsstand.
tiny spindly arms.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking
rubbish
its
little
arm
eyes
is,
as well?
Yeah, I can't play the guitar too well.
is its arm leaping straight out of the magazine into your face? Am I right in thinking?
Yeah.
Yes, it's transcended the cover of the magazine.
It's transcended its two-dimensional
Yeah,
plane.
and it's now on the outside on the cardboard wallet. It's incredible.
Are you sure that's only $3.99? Because that sounds to me like that's the sort of thing that the likes of Branson would break the bank for.
Yeah, I know. We're going against all sensible financial advice, and we're putting it out for $3.99.
Incredible.
Incredible or foolish, you decide.
Check it out.
This month we've got slightly more structure to this rambling, although the last 5 minutes of rambling would
It's not even mean that.
sort of betrays that intention. We've got jingles. For
Yeah.
example, this month's news. Awesome.
Oh,
pretty
God,
good.
let's get blooming.
It's all right.
Feel like
Trevor
Hugh
McDonald
Edwards
in the house.
Yeah. Tonight.
Yours tonight.
Note to self: get Trevor in for next
Yeah,
month's
yeah.
podcast. Yeah,
Instead of me.
yeah.
Should we do bongs before each of these news items?
Maybe later.
Not in the sense you're thinking of, Fred. I mean the Big Ben in the Big Ben sense.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Whoa, we better move on. Big news this month, of course, is 3DS, a 3-dimensional DS. We've spent the last couple of weeks trying to work out how that's going to work.
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me figure out how that's going to work. There's a lot of talk of parallax barrier screens, isn't there?
Yeah. What does that mean, Neil? Exactly.
No idea.
Talk us through the tech.
I could talk you
I've
through
got
it,
no
but it would
idea.
be fairly dull, so
Yeah.
it's up to you.
We could spend the next hour talking about parallax barrier technology, but
It's going to be really clever.
It'd be dull.
That's what
It's going to be
we
clever,
know,
but it's
isn't
going to be pretty cheap as well by all accounts. It's going to be
well,
relatively cheap.
Well, yeah, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? Because Nintendo are famed for only releasing their technology when it's affordable. I can't see it. Excuse me. I can't see it being. I can't see it being like 300 quid.
Yeah.
I think that'd be strange.
They'll be shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and how powerful can you make a console while also outputting 3 dimensional screens like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
There's got to be a little compensation there that
Yeah.
we're not going to. Are we going to see GameCube?
Well, that's
Standard
the hope. That's the hope,
graphics?
isn't it? That
Yeah.
people
With
I think
the
people
3D screen?
expect- Well, why not?
I don't know.
It's the future,
does,
Neil.
it does make sense as a natural progression because obviously this isn't just. A lot of people are confused and think this is another DS because it's got DS in the title, but it's the equivalent of Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. It's and you think about it, Game Boy Color was NES style graphics, Game Boy Advance was SNES, DS is more or less N64. So it would make sense that the next one would be GameCube style.
well, they've already said as well, haven't they, that it's 3DS is a working title and it's a whole new series
Progression
Yeah.
of console.
But at the same time, they've also been clear that every version of DS is a new iteration. They're taking the sort of iPod strategy of having a new model every year.
and that,
so
but also that nothing is a
Are
replacement.
we getting too excited about this? Is it just going to be a DSi with DSi levels of sort of graphical power, but with a 3D screen, or do we think it's going to be, this big step forwards that the internet has decided it will be?
I think it's about time.
Yeah.
You think so?
If you look down the road, there's not.
Is the technology cheap enough though?
Yeah,
you
I
can
think so.
clearly
I'm
see
sure
by my
Nintendo
questioning. You can see where I stand.
I'm sure Nintendo will work very hard to drive the price of that technology down.
I'm thinking.
Nintendo are powerful enough to introduce cheaper technology.
Yeah, I think certainly in terms of graphics, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I know like in terms of GameCube stuff, but when you look at the PSP's graphics, at least say it's not quite GameCube, but that's 5 years old technology, and the PSP is fairly cheap now. Not counting the Go, which the less said about that the better. But the normal good PSPs are pretty cheap nowadays, even with that graphical power. Even if the games look slightly better than that, I'd be happy.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
I don't think
one.
it's going to be hugely expensive to do GameCube visuals. I think if you look at the release schedule, there's a sort of fistful of cool DS games lined up for the next few months. But further down the line, there seems to be a bit of a
Gulf.
void in the DS release schedule, which would perhaps suggest something big is coming.
Yeah.
But we don't know. I mean,
It's an
all
interesting
will be
one.
revealed soon.
Indeed.
Yeah. And don't take any of our
Words as gospel.
wild
Rambling.
speculation as
Yeah.
fact. We are literally speculating. We genuinely have no clue what's going to be announced at E3.
Yeah.
But we're psyched, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be
Pumped,
really
as they
interesting,
say.
I reckon.
I think once again Nintendo have just taken that. Like I've heard PlayStation guys and, well, in particular, people who own PS3s talking about 3D technology, and then Nintendo are going, okay, yeah, we've got
We
a
can do
console that does 3D
on a handheld. Yeah.
on a handheld as well, without glasses. So it's again, Nintendo just come through with the surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when that announcement was made, I mean, I don't think anyone could have predicted that.
No,
was,
not at all.
No,
It was
very-
genuinely
very
out of left
unexpected.
field and
yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's left everyone kind of scrambling for kind of a slant on it.
Yeah. So stay tuned. You don't tune to a podcast, do you? But just keep looking at the internet. Keep reading our mag.
keep hitting refresh.
Yeah.
What about
Continually. Never sleep.
just drink a lot of coffee?
Yeah.
It's like an
Until
episode,
June-
like a movie,
June
like
the
a
15th.
Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You
Yeah.
cannot fall asleep. We can't stress that enough.
Exactly.
If you fall
Yeah.
asleep,
You'll
Although-
die.
Everything will be in 3D.
yeah.
When you,
Well,
when
to be
you
fair,
wake up,
you can probably go to bed till June the 15th, which is when they're revealing it. So
After that-
Hibernate until then, but after that, you got to stay
after
awake.
that, nothing for months.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
What about 3DS games we want to see? What's the wish list?
Star Fox?
Pilot Wings.
Come on,
It's got to be Star
Yeah.
Fox, surely.
Star Fox, Pilot Wings, anything.
Anything flying with lots of
Yeah,
motion. and stuff like
anything
that.
with
Yeah.
stuff coming at you.
My award-winning idea, and if this happens,
Award-winning.
yeah, it's won an award in my mind. If this happens, then you heard it here first because I guessed it. I want Super Paper Mario.
Ah.
3. No, just because.
A flat game.
Yeah,
in
because
3D.
it's a flat game, and then when he switches, it becomes properly 3D instead of just.
See, yeah.
I'm not saying the game will be any good, but that's the idea. It's the theory. Should be good.
Yeah.
We'll look
New
out for
Super Mario Brothers 3D.
Oh, Smash Brothers.
It's been a while. Smash Brothers is a good show.
That'd be good because when you
Never
knock
been
them
a
into,
portable
you knock
Smash
them into the
Brothers.
sky, they'll go flying into the screen.
I'm
Yeah,
putting
that could
some
be
cash
pretty cool.
down on that new Pikmin game that Mr. Miyamoto told
Being
us
a
about
3DS
being
game.
3DS.
Yeah,
But
especially if they get
hasn't
Zelda
that
out.
been in development for years already?
But they've never said what it's on, and you've got to think they're a bit planning ahead with their hardware. I don't know.
Especially if they get Zelda out
Yeah.
at the end of the year, they don't want to bury Pikmin on the Wii. If Zelda's
dunno.
going to be the big game. Again, speculative.
knows?
Do not read into this.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
The last 10 minutes have proved we know nothing.
Or do we?
Fingers on the board. Do we? Yeah.
No, we don't.
We
Yeah,
don't.
when it's announced and it's Star Fox, the Super Paper Mario.
If we get it
Yeah.
exactly right, I'll
Yeah,
be
everyone-
amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
That was, so intriguing, that announcement. It really got the office buzzing.
Yeah.
Socks were knocked off, I think.
Yeah,
weren't
we
they?
could spend the next hour talking about it, but
I still find the odd song.
it would be quite dull.
Should we move on?
Yeah, yesterday, more immediately, we're not talking about futuristic stuff here. Galaxy 2 is out on June the 11th.
Yep.
Me and Chris went to play it yesterday at Nintendo HQ.
I think I found it's Chris and I.
Chris and I, sorry, my manners deserted me there.
Get out.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, so we had a go on Rock Mario,
Yeah.
Light Yoshi.
Yeah.
What do we call the inflated Yoshi?
Uh,
Blimp Yoshi? Like,
Yoshi
what
Blimp.
was
what's
the
his blimp
name
fruit,
of the...
so
There wasn't it. We thought it was Blimp Fruit, but it was different. It was like,
I thought it was.
I can't remember.
Yeah, 'cause it's blimp fruit, dash pepper,
Yeah,
and then something bulb.
bulb.
It's not a light bulb because
Something.
that's too obvious.
Yeah,
But it's not just.
yeah. It's all in the next issue.
Yeah. Actually, I've got notes here. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Really?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Right, well, it's we were shown several new galaxies. The ones that you may have seen in the trailer that was released recently.
Last week.
Bulbberry.
Bulbberry.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bulberry. Isn't that a popular make of football hooligans' clothing? Am I getting confused?
Yeah,
also
when they
a
put it on, they inflate.
Moderately strong Pokemon. If you're thinking Bulbasaur.
It's true. Yeah, so we had to go on these new abilities. I particularly enjoyed Light Yoshi.
Yeah.
I thought that was very cool.
How does
There's
Light
some
Yoshi
really
work,
nice. Where you pick up the what
Bulbberry.
Bulbberry, and a circle of light envelops around you, and you can only see the platforms that are within that circle of light. But as time goes on, the circle gradually grows smaller. You can't grow smaller, can you? Shrinks. Shrinks. So you have to leap to the next Bulbberry.
Indeed.
And it's set in that sort of ghost mansion, and it's got the same the ghost theme from Super Mario World, which I
Yeah, it does
enjoyed,
that.
being an old man. Yeah, and it's got the sort of rotating
Mouth trumpet
ghosts with a gap in
Oh,
that
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to get in, and then wait until the gap is on the other side.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's all very good.
A lot of it was
very
like Mario
enjoyable.
World. A lot of it had shades of Mario
Yeah,
World.
there was that
to it.
great bit where you stomped on a thing, and you know where you collect the sort of tunes.
Yeah, like the bit in Galaxy when all the coloured notes
Yeah.
appear and you collect them, it makes a song. This time it
Yeah.
did
If you keep
Well, songs
running,
from Mario World.
the song plays properly, and if you mess it up,
yeah.
it goes all over the place.
But yeah,
Very cool. What do you think of
times.
Rock Mario?
I liked it. When I saw the video, I saw the trailer, I thought, this is going to
So
be
did I,
this is going
yeah.
to be the new Spring Mario. You know, you're like,
I thought it looks a bit dodgy.
yeah, it looks pretty cool, but it's going to be a nightmare to control. But it's
We hate
actually
Spring Mario,
pretty.
don't we?
I don't really like it much.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I thought
one.
it was
That's,
alright.
that's the one
I thought it
thing
was okay.
that annoyed me.
No.
But this is fine. It's like you flick the remote to make him spin, but he spins on the spot for a second first, and while he's doing that, you can essentially choose which direction he's going to blast off in by holding the analog stick. And once he's blast off, you can still kind of steer him left and right, almost like a car,
Yeah.
to a degree when he spins off as well. So you've actually got quite a lot of control over it.
And there was some nice little sort of bowling
Yeah.
sections, wasn't there, where
Yeah.
you knock down a certain number of pins, and then you went in a pipe, and there was some spinning sort of dice.
Yeah,
or,
so that,
or die, if we're being exact. We're being exact about grammar today.
We always
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
Fred.
that's the new power up. It's like it looks like a dice. It looks like a die.
But depending
'cause dice
on
is
you-
plural, isn't it?
Yeah, depending on when you hit it, the top facing thing
Yeah.
on the die, not dice.
Is
You
it
get
better
that?
up you get?
Yeah. So yeah, interesting new dynamics
Yeah. Fun times.
revealed.
Also, there was also that puzzle plank galaxy where
That was cool.
there's a kind of big picture puzzle which you did put together using
Yeah.
ground pounds, and the music sounded like something out of Toy Story. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it had that sort of country and western
Yeah.
feel.
Ragtime.
Vaudeville. A quick word about
It's very cool.
the
Yeah.
music, because you sort of got a first earful of the new orchestrations.
Music's amazing.
Yeah.
I
You
would
particularly
go-
enjoyed the piano,
There's a
the
theme.
piano riff
I
on
can't
the
say
map
too much,
screen.
but basically the World 3 map screen, the music is incredible. It's the best. It's better than any of the music that was in the first game. Like in
Yeah.
terms of just the kind of subtle ambient.
Yeah,
Music, yeah,
it's not like the
Was it a
sort
bit
of
Moby?
in-your-face main theme, not the sort of grandeur of that, but
Yeah,
the
it's not
sort of
so dramatic,
subtle
there's really-
sort of piano.
I said when we were
Someone
playing
tinkling on the ivories there.
Yeah, I said when we were playing it that within a day of that coming out, someone on YouTube will film themselves playing it on the piano
Yeah.
because it's really good music. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Have you seen that guy on YouTube, going off at a tangent slightly, playing the Airman theme out of Mega Man 2?
No.
Incredible. Look it up. Really, really
I'll
good.
just write that down. Sorry. What-
Airman theme, Mega Man 2 YouTube.
On the piano.
Highly recommended, yeah. Fantastic.
Curious.
So that's what you do with your your spare time.
Yeah. Well, I do my best.
I like the video of the guy. Sorry, while we're talking YouTube videos and wasting time. The guy that can play the Mario theme with two guitars at once,
Yeah.
and he's I don't know how he
How
does
do
it.
you do
but-
that?
Well, he's got a normal guitar and a bass guitar thing, and he's got the strings done in such a way that you can just kind of tap the strings and it makes a noise. So he's kind of playing both the harmonies at the same time.
There's a lot of people in the world with an awful lot of time on their hands, isn't
Yeah.
there?
And he's done that just to play
Incredible.
one tune.
Just to play myself.
Yeah.
He's done.
It's good.
I think he's
It's
attempted
impressive.
the theme from The Simpsons and other similar tracks, but obviously that's of no importance to us in a Nintendo podcast.
It's impressive.
Hmm.
It's good.
Indeed.
So as not to front load this podcast too heavily, we're going to move on from the news section
Indeed.
into the what we've been playing section, which we also have a jingle
We
for.
do have a jingle.
Yeah.
Is that ready, Chris? Go. Action, adventure, platformer, role-playing game. Every genre. Action, adventure, platformer, role-playing game. God, it's mental, isn't it?
Should we have another shout out for our jingle man, because
Yeah.
this is pretty good.
It's very, very impressive.
He's going to start wanting money soon, isn't he?
I think
Yeah,
it is.
I'm surprised he hasn't
Invoiced us.
invoiced us. Yeah, let's just hope us thanking him a lot on the podcast is payment enough.
Yeah, want to be told.
Yeah, thanks for that. What we've been playing, the main game this month is very clearly Monster Hunter Tri, and our resident expert is Mr. Simon Bramble.
Yes. It's immense.
Yes,
Yeah.
in every sense of the word.
No, it really, really is. So much so that it's a bit daunting actually. When you sort of when I went to Nintendo HQ to sit down and play it for the first time, I was kind of thinking, this is going to take a few days. I've got one full day to get to know the game, and there's so much to take in. And it really, I mean, I played it for about 10 hours that first day, and I was just starting to get into the main game. I mean, it's massive. There's so much to take in. It's such a good looking game, and there's so much detail, and so much to do. It really is.
So much so that you actually slept at Nintendo HQ for about a week. We didn't see you for ages.
Pretty much, yeah.
Came back the next week, you had a full beard, even fuller than usual.
Yeah. No, I mean it's what's been done with that game on the Wii. I mean, I think the Wii gets a lot of stick in terms of what it can do, technically speaking. But what the guys at Capcom have managed to squeeze out of the Wii is pretty impressive. Both in terms of the visuals. I mean, it's an outstanding looking game. It really is. I mean, I'd hesitate to compare it to other consoles or other games on other consoles, but it really is a jaw-dropping looking game. I mean, even Mr. Iwata, Nintendo chief, has kind of said that the guys working on Zelda right now, they're now feeling the pressure thanks to the people who have been working on Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's
incredible.
Yeah, I mean it really. I don't want to talk it up too much. I mean, I really did enjoy it, but it's something to see, even if you don't feel that you can get into the whole cult of spending hours and hours online, playing this game. I mean, even just to see what we can do, it's it's worth checking out.
Our chums in Bath on Endgamer magazine, quite accurately, I don't know if this is true or not. You'll be the judge of this, I guess. They sort of described it as Pokemon, but on an enormous scale. So
no, yeah, that's very
you
true.
go
yeah.
around sort of
But
hunting monsters, but the actual battles with the monsters are a lot more physical and
Yeah, it's
less fainting and more dismemberment.
more
Less cute
steaks
stuff.
basically.
Yeah.
You cut raw meat from
I really like that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And then
I think that's a great idea.
and you've got a spit in your backpack, and so you whip your spit out and you put it on the floor, and then you cook what you've just killed basically. And then
Al fresco.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll be honest, looking through the review, I think a lot of those monsters, a steak off that would be quite
yeah,
tasty.
Be tasty.
You can get different kinds of
I'd be up
steak,
for that.
and you can cook it in different ways as well. If you time it right, so that you cook a steak either just rare or just well done, you get a bit of a stamina boost.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a
Plenty of
plain
meat
old
there.
steak. But
Can you stock up on sort of béarnaise sauce on the way out of town? Or
you can
Nice peppercorn sauce?
make a nice sauce to go with it. Yeah, there's
That's
lots of
amazing. They've thought of it. They've literally thought of everything.
yeah. No,
haven't
they
they?
really have. I mean, it's staggering, which is why 10 hours. That's the bare minimum you need to invest into it. So you've got to understand that it's a game that you do have to put a lot into. But once you've passed that kind of tipping point, once you've climbed that sort of mini mountain to start with, then suddenly you've got this vast expanse of game to plough through, and it's massively enjoyable.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I've played the Monster Hunter games on PS2 and PSP before, but there wasn't quite the infrastructure in the UK, to get online and stuff and do all that kind of thing. But it always seemed really dull and really dry, and it just pretty boring actually. I could see kind of what people were going on about, but with the Wii version, it's very much they've really sort of rejigged it and rebooted it to make it more accessible and fun. And you're essentially clogging great big dinosaurs with massive hammers. I mean, what's not to enjoy about that? And then you're eating them afterwards. Awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be it's going to find a big audience.
I hope so. I think Nintendo will ensure that it gets a bigger audience than it would have done if Nintendo hadn't been supporting it.
Yeah. I think Nintendo are very committed
Yeah,
behind this game,
they've
because they
done-
know. Well, you can't really argue with Nintendo's sort of sense of what is a good game.
Yeah, they've done.
They've taken this game and gone, right, we like this game. We are
Absolutely, yeah,
supporting
it's-
this heavily.
It's a quality game, and they realised that there are certain things which may have made it a little bit more tricky to get into over here, like the whole friends code thing and paying to get online and stuff. They've done away with all that, and they've made it as simple as possible to get the most out of the game. So that's obviously a mark of its quality. So
Yeah.
Cool.
trust
Something
it
to
again.
get your teeth stuck into.
So, yes.
It's a beast,
Yeah.
as we've said on the cover.
Yeah.
It's a game that's got plenty of bite, you might say.
Plenty of like. It's an absolute monster.
Sorry, it takes a while to.
Oh dear.
Very good.
Hunt it down now.
Very good. It is very good.
Oh God. Okay, let's stop.
All
Let's stop
cliches
doing that.
aside. Yeah.
It's an animal.
The way you said that was just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's an animal. Fortunately, we have our in-house band with us for this podcast, making all the noises.
Jack Williams in the Furious 4.
Furious 4.
That's
That
not
just
even a
sounds
joke.
like one short, doesn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, no, I was
Unfortunately, they
about to
could-
say Furious 5, and I realised that's an actual band.
They can only do one drum roll. It's a bit of a shame, really. Quite limited musically.
It's a shame.
They don't get a lot of work, so we've got them in this afternoon. Let's move on from Monster Hunter and some dreadful puns.
Yep.
Which we've
into-
avoided in the issue, by the way.
Yeah, we've done
not
our
a single,
best.
Really?
There's not a single pun.
I can't believe
in
that's the
issue.
case.
What about in the
Maybe in a few
supplement?
positives and stuff.
We've
No, there's nothing.
I'm
in
going
there,
to check
no.
that claim out while we talk about the next game.
okay. Well, while Fred reads the magazine, we're going to talk about. It's a hell of a lineup for reviews this month. I have to
Yeah.
say.
Oh dear.
What?
Wing and the Slayer.
These are yours, Fred.
I didn't put that in.
Oh, well, someone did. Might have been me.
You're the guy who does these
Oh,
things.
dear.
Come on.
Oh,
Any more?
There's a worse one, actually. But
What's that?
What is it?
no.
Right, let's move on. Let's move on.
It's like when I do puns, he shoots them down, but it's like just as bad.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. We'll leave you to guess what that is.
Oh,
No More Heroes 2, Chris,
Yeah, that's good.
which has sadly been delayed.
Yeah, it's a shame we could have done it.
Just
in the next
after we
issue.
reviewed it and gave it 6
A whopping
pages
score.
of
yeah
praise,
coverage.
it's not going to come out for another month, and
Yeah.
by which time people might have forgotten about it.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
shame.
bit silly on Rising Star's part, I would say.
Yeah,
But,
the fools.
yeah, I'm sure it's not their fault. It's not deliberate, but
they deliberately hobbled their game.
yeah, deliberately trying to
You never
minimise
know.
sales there.
Yeah.
But you like it. It's mental.
Yeah, it's good. It's more or less, if you like the first game, you like this one. It's just, they've put the blood back in, which is a nice touch, because it kind of makes it feel like it was meant to feel in the first place.
I'll be honest. I only played the UK version of No More Heroes, obviously. I sort of like the that sort of gold stuff that comes out of people.
Yeah,
Thought that was a pretty cool visual effect.
that was a cool alternative to the blood, but then when you play
You
it
just
with the
really
blood,
like
you kinda-
blood, don't you?
What can I say? But no, it's just it I don't know. It makes it feel a bit more like a kind of Kill Bill style Tarantino thing, which is kind of obviously what he must have had in mind when they made it.
Mm.
But no, it's good. It's just absolutely mental. There's so many things in that game that make no sense whatsoever. Like when you fight the American footballer guy who suddenly summons this huge robot, who just grows to the size of the town, and then Travis shouts on his robot called Glastonbury and dives into that, and two big robots just fight for the sake of it.
Yeah,
And it's just
crazy.
yeah, and that's just one boss fight, and then your robot gets confiscated, and you never see it again for the rest of the game. It's absolutely
That's
ridiculous.
good.
But yeah, it's good. It's a bit short, but other than that,
Yeah,
It's just insane.
it's still a bit flawed,
yeah.
but you
it's-
can sort of sympathise because it's so entertaining.
yeah, that's the thing. If it had it not had the sense of humour and the sort of style that it does have, then it probably would have got a lot lower score. But the thing is, it's just so entertaining to play through it that you kind of forgive its flaws, because it's the things it does right so well that you kind of let it off with it.
Yeah,
You kind of get the feeling that maybe if Suda got an editor or someone to kind of rein him in a little bit,
yeah.
Yeah,
make an absolute stone cold
I'll do it for
classic
him.
of a game.
Suda, if you want
yeah, I'd do it.
if you want me to step in,
It's just weird because it messes about with so many ideas that stuff you actually think, yeah, this is pretty good, you don't get long enough with. So like, there's playable characters later on, and you'll maybe play with them for like one level or two levels, and just as you're getting into it, you say, right, you can never use them again.
yeah.
Oh,
Do you think it's a bit? Do you think it's a bit unfocused? Do you think he's got too many
yeah,
ideas?
it's basically
Sort of ADD.
it's an ADD
a
game.
brain
'cause
dump
it basically
of
just-
ideas.
Yeah, it basically just says, let's do this. No, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah,
And you can never really pin down. But it's good. It's the least
So-
predictable game you could
yeah.
play.
You can't begrudge that sort of. It's such
Joyful.
he's such an
kind of-
original guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
The games he comes out with are
Just mental.
bonkers. I like that. I'll take a flawed bonkers game
Yeah,
over a
Need for
average
Speed 15.
soulless game.
yeah, absolutely.
Any day of the
He's
week.
quite a crazy guy as well,
Yeah.
as evidenced in the interview we've got
in
the
our
same
lovely
issue.
feature in issue 55 on sale now.
$3.99.
Glad you mentioned it, Chris.
Happy to help.
Also an issue on sale, Red Steel 2, which is out now, so I'm not going to mention it. You've either bought it or you haven't.
If you haven't, you probably should, because it's quite good.
Yeah, I really like it. It's don't expect epic epic level design or particularly fascinating
Plot development.
locales, levels. That's what I'm trying to say. But the combat is fantastic. I just wish they'd ditched the hub. But the best level in the game is just when you're essentially going in a straight line on the top of a train. That is the best level. Right, you're just
no
literally
messing
you're literally just going in a straight line. There's no messing about. You're just fighting dudes, and it feels really cool. You feel like a swordsman. And where it lets itself down is in all the hub levels and stuff. But don't let that put you off. It's very, very good. Also, what we've been playing this month. Mainly, this is down as Fred, but I've been playing
I played it as well.
Yeah, but you hate it, so it's not... We're talking about Super Mario Kart, which has come out on Virtual Console.
I've played 2 hallowed Nintendo classics this month that everybody would put up there as some of the greatest Nintendo games ever, and I've loathed both of them.
What's the other one?
I don't know if I should get into that because that's a can of worms.
What was it?
Just write it down or mime it.
Mime it.
Fred is now taking a pen.
Poking someone in
I
the
don't know. Oh, right.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, don't mention that.
I'm not going to bring that up. But yeah, Super Mario Kart came out on Virtual Console, and it was like, I did play it when it came out, and I was a wee bairn when it came out, and I think I enjoyed it, but I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first time I played it for like 15 years or something, and it's basically unplayable in my book.
I won't hear a bad word against
it's
it.
unplayable.
Oh,
It's classic.
Is it because I beat you severely?
well, that probably contributed to it, but
I think
don't know.
there's a lot to be.
So-
I spent several years of my youth playing Super Mario Kart,
Mm.
and I
As did
don't
I.
regret a moment. That may have left me socially
Actually,
stunted
I have got developed
and
a
a
new.
bit of a weirdo, but I've fully enjoyed it, and I'm still playing it every day at lunchtime now. It's incredible. I love it.
I've developed
Agreed.
a newfound respect for you now watching you play Super Mario Kart because that's some crazy skills there.
Some crazy swear words as well.
Thank you. Thank
Something
you.
even
Thank
I
you
had
very
never
much.
heard before.
Yeah,
That's saying something.
new swear words.
But, I mean, if you play Super
It's basically combinations of existing swear words
Yeah.
to make
All
those
bolted
swear.
onto each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play Mario Kart Wii, it's, it's not necessarily an easy game if you want to get everything, but it's very playable and quite straightforward. Then you put Super Mario
it's-
Kart on, and
the
it's
contrast
just
is
absolutely
amazing. Yeah,
rock hard nails.
yeah.
Yeah. So just
See, I
like
prefer
kids,
that,
be
though.
warned. If you've never
Be
played
warned.
Super Mario
I
Kart,
put
and you,
that in
it's
the in our review,
You're in for a shock.
which is online now. If you want to read it, it's an edited version of the real one, which is in the next issue. But yeah, I've said as much in the review. It's fantastic if you're willing to accept it's a very hardcore 16-bit era game,
Yeah.
which involves patience and commitment.
And
Which makes
some
it sound like a wife or something, but
in many ways, Super Mario Kart is like having a wife.
it is. Yeah, I beat it.
It's
regularly,
rewarding
yes.
yet challenging.
Oh, we got to cut this.
Yeah, let's.
I thoroughly recommend. It's only £6 as well. 800
Yeah.
points,
Yeah.
about £6.
Yeah, 6.
Why not?
Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Fully
Treat
recommended.
yourself.
Take it for a spin.
Oh,
Was that another point?
There's a delay. There's a delay.
I wish to keep the podcast rolling, people.
yeah.
Can't be bothered. Again.
Comedy's all about timing, and we've
Come
got
on,
it
that was
all wrong.
really good, Neil. That joke.
Oh, jeez. Really good? Really? Are you captioning this Mario Kart review?
Possibly.
God, we've got to move
That
on.
is not allowed.
Sin and Punishment, Chris. Another sterling hardcore, although I don't like using the term.
No.
It's a hell of a lineup this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, shoot
Sin
from the
and
hip on this one,
punishment.
yeah?
Come on, Fred.
shoot
I'm only
from the hip.
I'm only so quick with that. It's I think we spoke about this before, so I don't want to go on about it too much. But yeah, it's really good. It's as you say, it's fairly hardcore. Not that we like using that word, but it's just basically an on-rail shooter that doesn't really give you much time to think or it's basically all about instincts and reactions and
Yeah.
you can't really
Pure
take time to think
arcade
about what you're doing.
action.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mental, and it's got a really good combo system where completing the game's one thing, but actually keeping a combo going and building up your scores another thing altogether. It's a kind of risk reward, but Yeah, it's just insanely difficult and insanely addictive.
Yeah, another highly recommended game. Probably all going to go bankrupt this month buying all these games.
Probably.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
True.
Well, you're not.
What do you mean? Obviously, I'm a millionaire. Dementium 2, Simon. Another recommended game.
Recommended, yes. I wouldn't say it's
Not highly recommended.
not
It's
quite
quite
as stellar as
and
everything
for
else. but-
18s only.
Yeah, very
Over
much. Yeah,
18s
very much
only.
so. Yeah, it's
Sorry, kids.
it's another one of these games where you're kind of surprised that they've managed to squeeze it into the DS. There's a lot of it, and it's highly developed. It's kind of a really nasty claustrophobic tale of being stuck in a prison which used to be a mental facility, and you've basically got to fight your way out.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. And it's one of those games. I don't know whether it's because you're playing it on a small DS screen, so it feels a bit more constricted than it really is. But you're locked into this small space, and you've got to fight your way out. And the sense of atmosphere is really good. And they've managed to pack in a lot of weapons and a lot of nasty creatures and some pretty imaginative level design. The only kind of flaw is that the way you've got to control what is really a full-blown first-person shooter is by a combination of the stylus and all the face buttons, and it gets a bit confusing when you kind of
Sounds a bit mental.
yeah, that's
arthritic.
that's a bit hard, but everything else is really good. But the control system is a bit
Niche, but
niche,
worth
but
it
no,
if
definitely
you're
worth
into that
checking
sort
out.
of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's again, if only to see a sort of technical demonstration of what can be done with the DS, then that's as good as any, really.
yeah. And another stellar DS game.
Yeah.
Even more so, WarioWare.
Yeah, that is just incredible. It's like they let you make your own mini games or micro games if you want. And at first I thought, is this going to give you a lot of scope? Because it's obviously making a game is a pretty in-depth process. But it's unbelievable. There's like 90 micro games already built in, made by the same people that made the other WarioWares. But each one
So
of those...
don't be fooled. It's a proper WarioWare.
Yeah, there's
as well.
proper games there. But the
Yeah.
difference this time is that every one of those 90 games has been made using the in-game tools that you can use to make your own. And to prove it, you can take any one of those games into the editor and pick it apart and see how they put it together and everything. The tutorials there's lengthy tutorials, but they're really entertaining because you've got Wario and some... it's one of the scientist's granddaughters teaching you how to make games, and Wario and you are both learning at the same time. So he's coming out with the usual japes and antics while you're trying to learn. So it keeps it entertaining. It makes entertaining what could be a really dull and complicated process. Actually makes it really simple to understand, and I was making games within like an hour or two after it. So
Really?
it's really good.
And I'll be honest, I can't be bothered to make my own games.
Yeah.
But you
Fair
can
enough.
download other people's ones. Is
Yes,
that right?
that's the thing. You can either download. You can't just jump on and download anything. You can download games from other people who are on your friends list, and Nintendo also run competitions via the WiiWare version, the WiiWare game that's also released on the same day.
Right.
They'll do a competition every now and then saying, make us a game based on a sport, make us a game based on TV shows or whatever, and people upload their own entries, and then Nintendo pick the best ones, and you can download them either to
Okay.
the WiiWare game and play it on your telly or your
And
DS game.
how
You can
regular
pick
is
it
that?
up.
Is that every
I'm
every week?
not sure yet because it's not out yet, but
Okay.
I would assume fairly regular because, I mean, you look at how often they're still doing stuff like Me Contest Channel, which they're updating quite regularly, even though no one I know uses it.
Yeah.
So something like this is going to, you're basically just limited by your creativity.
Indeed.
It's even got it's got a full music composer just like Mario Paint, only even better because it's got like 80 instruments and you can do tracks up to 2 minutes in length and all this kind of stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
You could spend 30 quid on it and just use that and never make a single game and still have fun with it.
And when
ridiculous.
it's out, I think we'll probably put a thread on our forum so that
Share your games.
readers
Yeah.
can show off their works
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
art. And well, if once it out?
It's
End of
out,
April, early May.
End of April, I think. A couple of weeks' time.
I think it's
30th
maybe the
of
30th
April?
of April.
So that'd be a good thing to if we get listeners to our podcast to send
Yeah.
in their WarioWare made tunes.
Yeah.
Might play a few of them next month.
Yes. Sounds like
Send
a
them
plan.
into onm@futurenet.com
Yes.
with the subject heading podcast. What should we say?
WarioWare.
Podcast WarioWare or
Mm.
WarioWare
Podcast.
Bizzle. Why not?
Wario Whizzle.
Yeah. So that's not a bad month for Nintendo gamers. Monster Hunter, No More Heroes, Red Steel, Mario Kart, Sin and Punishment, Dementium, WarioWare,
And more besides.
Yeah.
and yet more. FIFA World Cup's not bad
Smorgasbord
either.
of
pretty good.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all that and plenty more in the issue on sale now. Alongside that, there's our standard lovely features. This month, we took on the world with me dressed as Superman. How have our art team done this? Chris, as
I'm
far as I
Iron
remember,
Man.
you're Iron Man.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Fred was Batman.
Batman?
Which I was really
Fred, you're Batman, and
cheesed off
Simon,
about.
you're Spider-Man.
I was Spider-Man. Yeah, chinless Spider-Man.
So, yeah, I'm Superman, but with a really fat face, which is probably true in real life. To be
Fred
fair,
looks like a child
Aw.
of the damned.
Look a bit scary, to be honest.
it's a bit strong. I like it.
I've got a good
so
six-pack, mate.
our cartoon
All happy with
superhero
that.
selves.
Perfectly happy with mine that makes me look buff and rugged.
We've taken on the world being defined as online. We and
Couple of
DS
kids.
games online. So
Plus Wales,
we
maybe.
stepped up to the mark, and I volunteered to play Mario Kart Wii and Pez online. Mario Kart was very, very enjoyable and just brilliant fun. Loads of people online at all times. Really clever in terms of how it puts you with similar ranked kart races. Very, very good. Pez, on the other hand, less said about that, the better. Dreadful lag and about 4 people online.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Less good.
Yeah, but the two sides of online gaming there. Fred, your chosen games
What
were
did I play?
Advance Wars and Dr. Mario.
Yeah, I think the thing that we discovered was a lot of the games that have been out for a little while now, the only people still playing them are the people who are completely obsessed by
Total
them
Yeah.
hardcore
and are
freaks.
ridiculously good at them.
Yeah.
So it's like you go on there, and I think I'm pretty good at these games, and can hold my own.
You were shell-shocked after playing
I-
Dr. Mario.
Yeah, literally.
You really
Never seen
were.
a
The thing
man
about,
so
like-
broken.
The thing about online Dr. Mario is all the only people who play it are like Japanese women. I'm like, well, nothing against Japanese
What is
people
it
or women,
about,
but it's just a bit
Japanese
strange.
ladies that attracts them to
Really-
Dr. Mario.
They're really good at Dr. Mario. It's scary,
why.
like scary good.
I get the impression it was the same sort of people playing Tetris Party
Possibly.
online.
Because that was the same deal, wasn't
It's
it?
very, very similar, yeah. Just,
Same
just
deal with
a blur
Tatsunoko
of,
as well.
shifting shapes. It's really
I'd,
good.
I'd like to think I'm a fairly good Tatsunoko versus Capcom player, but I get absolutely grannied when I went on.
Yeah.
Absolutely grannied.
Yeah, is that not a popular English expression?
That's one of your exotic Glaswegian expressions.
Oh well, okay.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Romped. Yeah, no, I'll go for that.
But so I say we didn't actually fare too well against the world, did
No.
we?
We didn't know.
No.
Despite our superhero
Yeah.
billing, we're
I think-
actually
Bit of a
fairly
letdown.
average.
I think we
Um,
held our own considering that we'd literally jumped into these games online, some of them for the first time since launch, whereas some people have bought them since launch and clearly stuck with them for months and months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be
To
fair,
jump back into it when we have to play countless other games
Mm.
is quite an ask.
I think to be fair, there's a few successes.
Yeah.
Excite Bike, Call of Duty.
Tiger Woods, I did.
Tiger
I
Woods,
did pretty
very
well
enjoyable.
in the wind and the rain as well. I did pretty good actually. Real time weather that.
Yeah. Any affairs when you were doing that, or
I couldn't say. I'm sure that. I'm sure.
Well, you've played them off, haven't you?
A certain golfer's press officer would be down on me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, I'm not referring to
Yeah.
anything there in particular. Just
Oh, no.
just Simon's home life in general. Joking, of course.
Next
Yeah, so that-
podcast number 8 will be recorded live from Wimbledon
Live
Magistrates
from-
Court.
Live from jail as I hopelessly defend my wild accusations. So that's a good feature, very enjoyable. Well, for us mainly. I hope it's I hope it's an enjoyable read.
That's not what you meant to say.
There's another blast from the past feature, which is based on Mario Galaxy 2 and these sort of nods to retro Mario games.
Yeah.
I think we talked about the Mario World references in Galaxy 2 that we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones as well. My favourite being the most obscure, the return of those buzzsaw things.
Yeah,
Finally. I think it's the news we've all been waiting for, isn't it?
that 800,000 strong internet petition to get buzzsaws back is finally
that's great.
come to fruition after 20 years.
It is actually just worth a read, that feature, just to get a grasp on the sheer scale of Chris Scullion's lunatic kind of Mario
it's
knowledge.
Very impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
How similar the owl in Mario 64 and that pink bird thing that I mentioned last podcast. They're so similar.
We're
And
excited about the pink bird.
Yeah,
Aren't we?
I'm all about the pink bird thing. And there's, which we've now discovered, Starship Mario.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if did we talk about a minute ago? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
So it's now been confirmed as a planet that you drive around the world map, unlocking
It's
various
kind of a
new
hub.
galaxies.
It's a hub and it isn't a hub in that you can walk around it and any characters you meet like Yoshi and stuff will appear on the ship and you can go and talk to them and stuff like that. But to get from level to level you have to go to the kind of hull.
The Hull?
Yeah.
You've got to go to Hull?
Yeah.
No, but that's quite the
Go
trick.
to Hull.
No, what would you call the bit with the big, not with the steering wheel? Because
That's a
brilliant.
hull, isn't it?
Is it?
On a
bridge?
on a ship when
The
you drive a
Hull's the bit
ship.
at the back, isn't it?
The hull is the main body of the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not-
What's
I'm
the
not-
bit where the captain stands in front of a big
Bridge. The
wheel
bridge.
Yeah.
thing? The bridge.
Okay. Well, then you have to go to the
You have
so
to
I'm
step on
The
that.
Hull.
Not very nautical.
Good lord.
Okay, so you go
Simon's
to
the
the
one with the
bridge.
nautical knowledge there.
You go to the bridge and from there it kind of zooms out to a map screen and then you move about from level to level. And the gimmick this time is, I say gimmick, I mean the incredible gameplay idea is that you collect the stars this time to power Starship Mario because it's only got its fuel is basically power stars, so it essentially
right,
just means you've got to collect so many stars to unlock new galaxies because it can't go that far unless it's got that many stars.
So it's essentially, a sort of hybrid of traditional world map and hub.
Yeah.
In the fact that you can still tackle kind of whichever galaxies you like within that world, but you do still have to progress in a sort of slightly more linear fashion than in the first game.
I'm going to
Don't know if
refer
I've
to.
explained that well.
I think we should refer
I hope
to it as
so.
a mub from now on.
A mub.
Half mub, half map, half hub.
A maup.
Mub.
It's kind of like a sort of cruise ship kind of vibe on there. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a swimming pool
nice.
and a sort of canteen.
Yeah,
and-
there's a big sort of wooden wheel thing, as if you were driving a sort of pirate ship.
Yeah.
And you step on that, and there's a nice little cutscene.
Yeah.
And there's quite a cool zoom effect when you go to a world and you say yes, I want to go into that one. It all zooms in. It's very cool.
It's quite, you see him kind of blasting off the ship and
That's right,
zooming
yeah.
in. You know, like in the first one, you see him kind of zooming through into the screen. It's similar to that, where he blasts off the ship and lands on the galaxy. It's quite cool.
So confirmed, Starship Mario.
Mub.
The mub.
Yeah, the
World's
mob.
first mub.
Loads more Galaxy 2 fun to be had in the issue on sale now. But now we need to move on because we've been rambling for a little bit too long. It's reader questions.
You have mail.
Sounds like that computer wants to kill us, doesn't it?
I think she gets angrier every
mail.
month. She sounds angrier this month.
There's a deadness to her.
Really?
Yeah.
Sort of voice,
I think it's okay. I don't know why that offends you so much.
It doesn't offend me, it just scares me a bit.
It's because she's a filter between the mail and us, and most of the mail is just like spam. And she's just bored of it now.
Yeah,
But not all of the
You
mail. Some
have
of the mail's
mail.
great, isn't
Some
it?
is good.
Like
Such-
the
I
question
love,
we've chosen
I love
today.
it. We get handwritten letters and drawings every day.
yeah,
When was the last time you handwrote
It
a letter
brings-
to someone?
keeps me going.
Brings a smile to my face
Keeps
every
me going
time.
when I consider quitting. Keeps me going.
Yeah, it's amazing. Niall Cameron has written in
Two
to
first
ask-
names there. I like that.
Niall
Okay.
and to Cameron.
Greedy. You should
Uh,
share.
I think that's fine.
You get some people with
Don't
two.
criticise the man.
Some people with two surnames.
That's
I can't
true.
think of any. To,
I can't think of any either. Which do you prefer, the DS Lite, DSi, or DSi XL?
DSi Lite DS Lite because
Ooh.
hello, sorry, new console there. Don't-
confirmed.
Reveal.
No, purely because I've lost 2 of them and they're not they're not that expensive to
Yeah,
replace right now.
that's a good point. Very good point. I like my XL, but I've got a wine red one, and a
Yeah.
friend of mine has got the brown one, which is a lot nicer.
What is it?
Really?
I'm starting to regret it now.
What about the corduroy one? Have you got that one?
Yeah, I've got a tweed one as well.
Beige.
But I'm into the XL. It makes the screens are incredible and massive, and I know you agree with me, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're all about the XL,
Yep.
I wouldn't have one.
don't you?
Nah.
I'm not.
I don't know why I'm looking at you.
Don't look at me. I haven't got a batch of them sitting at home.
They look
I
nice.
wish I did. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah. I mean,
You're happy with your DSi?
I like my DSi a lot. Yeah, I'm going to go with the DSi. I mean, the only time I did properly sort of have a go on the XL, I was holding it. Then I thought if I was going to play a game for like an hour holding up an XL, my wrist might get a little bit tired.
Well,
Is that a problem that you've encountered or not?
I find
I've not encountered that problem.
I
no.
find playing Might Magic for extended periods of time on the DS Lite, my thumb tends to. I think I've mentioned this before. I get kind of like claw fingers. The fingers, the buttons too close.
Maybe you
together.
should try the XL.
Maybe I should.
Maybe try
it's
some
bigger.
cod liver oil.
Yeah, maybe that as well. Yeah.
Nice massage or something.
But I think we've sort of dismissed the original DS there.
Oh, fairly
Yeah,
though.
it's kind of, but
Wow.
that's,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
understandable.
Oof.
If
And-
you
and nowadays
if you
looks
do
like
go back to it, it's those screens are
Awful.
They're
Tiny.
scratchy easy.
it does show you how far we've come
Yeah.
in terms of screens.
it looks
and
more like now because it's the size of like
It's
an
5 years
XL.
old, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. To be fair, but
I've
nowadays,
got like a proper launch one, which is
yeah.
it's getting on a bit now.
But like because it's the size of an XL and the screens, it looks like one of those old style tellies with a huge box and a tiny wee screen.
Yeah,
in the
it does
middle.
a bit,
It's
yeah.
a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a shame. It still does the job. And
It has charm, but
yeah.
yeah,
functionality less so.
it has got that retro charm. Can we say something?
No, I don't-
5 years old is retro.
I don't
What-
think it's got
what,
retro charm.
what
at
point
all,
do you say
really.
that? It's just got
I mean,
no charm.
The paint chips off and it's just like white plastic underneath.
It's an exclusive white
It's
DS.
not.
it's
It's
got.
not a design classic. I don't think.
Yeah,
It
Well,
loo-
you
it
could
looks
say
like-
that about the Advance as well. The original
No,
Advance.
that was horrible.
I thought that was all right.
It was very. it was pretty big, wasn't it? And the screen wasn't great.
It had no backlight.
The SP,
SP was
Good.
the future.
Oh, micro.
Very, very
What about
good.
the micro?
yeah.
yeah,
That's a sexy machine.
yeah. I can't find them on sale anyway.
You've got to go to Japan to get them.
Yeah,
Or the electronic bay.
shocking. The electronic
The
day.
electronic bay.
Yeah, so that's DSi opinions
Opinions. Yeah.
right up in your grill. Alex Driscoll asks, Final Fantasy 13 was recently released on other systems, and I want to know which Final Fantasy you'd most like to see re-released on a current Nintendo console.
Final Fantasy 12 on the DS.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
I'll be honest, I don't give a monkeys about Final Fantasy.
Ah. 8.
Brutally honest,
Yeah, I'm kind of with Neil.
not
on this one.
interested.
Why?
Me and Simon,
Why
yeah.
not?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I think I haven't given it a good chance. I think I write it off too easily.
I think maybe you
It's
do.
perhaps to my
Detriment.
detriment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just depends. It's a work reward thing.
Mm.
you
That's
know.
it. You need to put in the effort, and then
Yeah.
But then you do with
get
Super
the
Mario
reward.
Kart as well. You know, you can't
true.
just, you can't just launch into
Can't
that.
just
is
rock
true.
up with Super Mario Kart and go, this is
is it the
rubbish.
menus that put you off? The menus and the stats and all that sort of stuff.
It's the emotion.
Yeah, I
Sheer emotion.
I dismiss all role-playing games rather rudely as like playing an option screen. In terms of it's just ploughing through menus most of the time. Very dismissive, I know. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately.
quite enjoyed Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
That was good. So I'm going to say that, the GBA one of them. but I don't really care, to be honest. If it never came to the DS or whatever,
What was that recent? That one that you reviewed recently, which was kind of like an on rails shooter. It's like a Crystal Chronicles.
Crystal Bear. Is that,
that sounds alright.
They were on rails. Yeah, because it was more action based and it was bonkers, and there were on rails bits. Like it was a bit like Sin and Punishment for.
That sounds cool. I want that remade, even though it's just come out. That's my answer to that.
Remade, but a little bit better.
7 or 8, Simon, what would you say?
Sorry, what?
7 or 8?
7. Yeah, I don't go. I don't go with those who sort of try to be all willfully edgy and cool by going for 8.
I don't know. 7 just did.
You prefer 8, do you?
Yeah, 7 didn't do anything for me.
No.
I know I'm in the minority, so sorry.
Yeah. That's why though.
Yeah, because I'm cool and edgy.
So that's that answered. Alex, thanks for your question. Ross Anderson, not the one who did the Nintendo rap. I've got written here.
Yeah, that's what he stressed that in the email that we had to see.
Was that a good rap?
He pops
not?
up a lot, that Ross Anderson guy.
There might be like 12 of them now.
Yeah.
That's quite a
Maybe
common
it's a
name, I
common
would say.
name.
Ross
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Who's he that? Oh, that was John Anderson, the guy who did Gladiators. Contender ready. Wrong Anderson.
The famous,
The famous
the
John
famous
Anderson.
gladiator man.
John
Yeah,
Anderson.
it's not him. Maybe it's his son.
Maybe.
What is the worst game you've played on the GameCube?
Billy Hatcher. Rubbish.
Oh.
I was going to say that, and then I thought I'm not going to say that because
That's harsh.
harsh.
That's
I
harsh.
didn't play it, because I only like good games, so I only make an effort to. When I had a GameCube, I only made an effort to
Most people
buy
do.
good games, and I thought Billy Hatcher was going to be good, but it was rubbish. So I'm going to say Billy
Yeah.
Hatcher.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
Yeah, I'm going to go Billy Hatcher.
Die Hard Vendetta.
That was
Yeah.
alright.
I thought it was a bit. I was building up maybe.
Yeah, I
just
suppose, yeah.
wasn't all that.
Fair
Plus,
enough.
it's the first one that sprang to mind. I'm sure I can think of something that was worse, but
The only I can think of was that Universal Studios one that came out on launch day, where you literally walk through Universal Studios theme park. It was
Really?
atrocious.
Is that a game?
That was a launch game.
My God.
It was terrible.
Every game I bought on GameCube, I really enjoyed.
No,
Genuinely,
The
Luigi's
one-
Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, don't go there.
Enjoyed it, but it was very short. And that's not a launch game, is it? It's not.
Well, it was a launch game.
You don't
It was fine.
launch game. Yeah.
But in
Check the
terms
date
of-
on the release schedule. I think you'll find out it came
technically
out
it
at
is,
launch.
but in terms of quality and scope and ambition, an hour and a half long Luigi game
You're talking,
set in a ghost house.
Would you think it's more a demo?
I think it's a tech demo.
I agree with you.
I think you're. You're both so wrong. It's not
You
true.
really like Luigi's Mansion,
Oh, it
don't
was
you?
wicked.
Good game.
Yeah, it's good.
That would make for a good.
why.
That'd be a
It
good
was-
3DS game
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
because the ghost
I'd
would
get
come out
behind that.
all up in your fizzog. That'd be pretty good.
I don't think there's a strong internet petition going on for
Mine would
Luigi's
start one.
Mansion
Go start
3D.
one, yeah. Both
I'm
me
going
and
to fire
Fred
off
are going to
Two signatures.
To Iwata.
that in Peggle. Luigi's Mansion in Peggle.
Oh,
on
yeah.
3DS.
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
Can't argue with Peggle.
Peggle
3D
3DS.
Peggle.
That'd be
How about that?
all lives ground to a halt.
Why would
I don't
why
I don't
3D
know
Peggle?
why.
How does it benefit from being in 3D?
It looked fun. It would look all sparkly.
It would look all sparkly. There you go. So that's the worst game we've played on GameCube. James Morrison, which
singer?
of the dungeons and temples in the Zelda games is your favourite?
The singer.
James Morrison. Don't like him.
What?
James Morrison.
James Morrison. Not a fan.
He's all right. He's written us a letter. That's nice.
Well, that's fine.
Do you mean the singer?
The singer,
You mean
yeah.
the singer?
No, if
That's
he's a
a relief.
different girl.
Do you mean as in Jim Morrison from The Doors?
No, that James Blunt guy.
James Blunt.
James Morrison. Yeah. Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah.
Gravelly voice. Scottish.
Gravelly, kind of looks a bit posh.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Middle
Oh,
of the
is
road, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard
He's got
of him.
nothing to do with these questions.
Sorry.
Which of the dungeons and temples in the Zelda games is your favourite? I don't know.
There's so many.
I didn't like the water one in
Yeah, that's
Ocarina, but
that's
that
a-
goes without
that
saying.
was
That's a
really
well-known,
Yeah, it goes
Yeah,
without
tough
saying.
one, isn't it?
the one with the monkeys in Twilight Princess was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good shout,
that's
actually.
good. That's
liked-
only because that was one of the more recent ones. I'm trying to think back.
I like the idea of
I
the
find
one.
him a bit of a slog towards the end.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the
I'm
one.
very impatient man.
The idea of what?
the one that was set in the fish in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, and Jabba Jabba's
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I liked
pretty
the
cool.
idea of it, but
Yeah.
actually getting in there, it was all pink.
was annoying.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just
Slimy.
And you had to the holes, certain holes opened up, didn't they?
Yeah, you
And you had
rescue
to
that
sort of
princess.
work out which
Yeah,
one
yeah,
to go
yeah,
down,
yeah.
and it'd end up being sort of a bit trial and error.
Yeah.
You had to rescue that princess, and she was just giving you cheeky nonsense all the way through it. I was like, come on.
Cheeky nonsense.
Yeah, I'm literally holding you
Yeah.
above my head.
And she's still
Be grateful.
Yeah, and she's still being
Lippy.
lippy.
Shocking.
I hate her.
Strong words. Did we? Have we got a favourite?
One from Link's Awakening because they were all pretty good.
One.
You played
There's
that
one
recently.
with there's a great one with sort of conveyor belt type tiles,
Yeah.
and you have to push certain blocks onto certain conveyor belts, and
Yeah.
it's
That
very,
one.
very good. Yeah, that one. And also similarly, where you push a block into what you think is blackness, and
Ooh, and it-
you can actually control the tile, and it continues, and you can draw your own path. Very
Crazy
good.
days.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, so there you go. Zelda Dungeons done. If you have topics, if you have topics you want us to discuss, email us at onm@futurenet.com with the subject heading podcast question. And now it's time for the competition. All right. Last month's prize was Twilight Seen It on Wii and DS. This is fairly incredible. Entrants had to submit their best examples of emo poetry.
Yeah.
So we've got, thanks to our incredible podcast sound effects man, we have some sort of depressing emo music.
Right,
If you want to, do you want to fire that up,
Yeah,
Chris?
we'll start reading out some of
We've got a
it.
top 4.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got one from Adam Glynn. This is pretty.
Best Brian Blessed. No,
Yeah,
Best-
Chris.
best theatrical voice.
Sorry
please.
to get the English accent on if this one.
Yeah.
No, do it in Scottish. That's fine.
Oh, so you want like Robert Burns?
Yeah.
I love her tumbling locks of flaxen hair, cascading o'er it's not over, cascading o'er her shoulders as soft rain falls in autumn. Eyes of cobalt, I stare into. She loves another. 'Tis in vain.
That's pretty good.
That's brilliant.
Okay, we've also. There you go. So do you want to
Fantastic.
take the next one from Guy? This is from Guy Whitlock.
Okay. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I'm very different, not conformist like you.
Ooh.
Brilliant. Classic emo conformist
I'm different.
theme there. Not much effort, I'd say. Roses are red, violets are blue. Pretty standard
I like the
cliche
twist.
there.
But a nice little twist on that. I thought it was alright. It's not a
Okay,
winner, clearly.
maybe it's a comment on conformism itself by using such a common. Yeah. Okay. Let's carry on.
This one's from Daniel. I'm assuming this is pronounced Bunny. And it's moving.
Before your eyes.
A moment's silence.
Yep.
I see you in the distance. Walking far away. I need you by my side. I need you to walk my way.
It's good.
Yeah, it's
Very
that.
good.
Haunting.
Very, very good.
Chilling.
So the winner. I've got two at the bottom here.
Oh yeah, that was just other ones.
Which one's the winner here, Chris?
That one's the winner. That's just another one.
Okay.
Although that's pretty decent.
Should we read it? I might as well
Might
read
as well.
it.
We've got-
Okay, runner-up is Sean Maguire again.
Yeah, he's in
again.
there. He's
Faded pop star Sean Maguire. This
Desperate
this
for
might
work,
be
obviously.
this might be a summary of how he's feeling in terms of his career at the moment. Okay, here goes. I'm old and I'm lonely. My ideas are lost, freezing my body in an ironic frost. I've wasted my life, and now I'm counting the cost.
That was definitely written by
Amazing.
the Sean Maguire.
Yeah, Sean Maguire there,
Some tells me he wouldn't be around to pick up the prize if he won it.
a cheery fellow, clearly.
But bonus emo points for saying ironic.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's emo points. I didn't know there was a grading system.
Well, but by logic, this gets most emo points, right?
Yeah.
Eve Aspinall.
This is the winner.
This is the winner, yeah.
I bet this music's about to stop. Should we start it again?
Have we got another emo
We
theme?
do, but
Stick some-
It's not quite as good.
You got any ABBA on there? Put that on.
Don't, I'm afraid.
Should we play this over the Village People's YMCA?
I might
Cheer
just have
things
to-
up a bit.
I might just have to reel up emo music, I'm afraid. Okay.
That's all right. Eve Aspinall, well done. You've won a copy of Seen It,
Oof.
Twilight Seen It on Wii and
Yeah.
DS. Here we go. Old Mario artwork covers my home. Reading O&M all alone. Playing Silent Hill in synthetic light. Day after day, night after night. Well done, Eve.
Nice.
That's good.
It's very nicely done.
Well done. And it gave us the excuse to do our best.
I would go so
Best-
far as to say it was quite emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done, podcast listeners.
Enjoy your copy
for,
of
for listening to this right to the end.
Yeah.
Also, we've got another competition, don't we?
amazing
That's true.
prize this month, actually.
Yeah, and also Eve Aspinall, the winner, partly because of her excellent emo poetry skills and partly because she did the Fresh Prince rap from the last
Oh,
podcast.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're
Very
a
good.
double winner.
Yeah.
Well done. This month's prize is a copy of Sonic Classic Collection on DS and a copy of Sonic Riders on the GameCube.
I think it's just to
Yikes.
it's just to mix. It's a kind of mixture of Sonic Riders showing how low Sonic got and Sonic Classic
That was
Collection
okay,
showing
wasn't
how
it?
good. Nah, it was atrocious.
No?
I actually played that recently for some reason.
I think we're missing out on the crucial point here in that it's not just a copy of Sonic Riders on the GameCube. I do believe it's a sealed copy
It
of
is sealed.
Sonic Riders. on the
Never
GameCube.
been played.
Never been played. Mint.
Incredible.
I believe it was a prize to be given away with issue 1 or issue 2, and no one claimed it. So it's been sitting here for at least 4 years.
What price would you get for a mint copy of Sonic Riders on eBay these days?
Oh,
Several thousand.
maybe 20, 30 pence?
As much as that.
Well, yeah.
Yikes.
There are some fools on that there internet.
Anyway, yeah. So in order to win those two Sonic classics, due to the success of our O&M raps, I think music is the way to go here. You have to make a song about Sonic. If you're going to rap over the Green Hill Zone theme, all good. Make up a little ditty over the Starlight. What is that? Starlight Zone.
Down, 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 down.
That's fantastic music.
Well, you could just make up your own little tune.
Yeah,
That's the start of it. That's not the whole song.
Yeah, you could just write your own original composition
A Sonic
about-
symphony.
about Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog, I believe Simon said there.
Yeah, we're not allowed to use that term because we're not allowed anymore.
Because it's not
poetry.
Sonic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no more
Sonic the
poetry.
Hedgehog.
No
Yeah,
more.
that's
We've done poetry this month. Maybe next
yeah.
month after next. So yeah, your Sonic music, please. Email onm@futurenet.com with the subject heading podcast. What are we on now? 8.
Podcast
8. Sonic competition. And do that at once, please.
Now.
I often think this is the best bit of the podcast when we read out these readers' bits.
Yeah.
Us talking's quite dull, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually other people are better than
Other
us.
people's efforts are vastly superior to ours. So with that in mind, if you have topics you want us to discuss, email us at onm@futurenet.com with the subject heading podcast question. Issue 55 is out now. You can't miss it on the shelves. It's got Monster Hunter on it. It's got a fantastic wallet with a die cut effect. It's incredible. And a lovely supplement which will help you to play Monster Hunter and battle your way through the first few hours. Keep looking at the website, officialnintendomagazine.co.uk, twitter.com/onm_UK and facebook.com official Nintendo Magazine. That's it for now. Speak to you next month.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.